How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt, Knost, and Drew Stoltz. Before we get going and talk about the incredible performance from the Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley, who's going to be looking great in his RLX up at Bethpage State Black, because at RLX, Ralph Lauren, timelessness has been at the core since the beginning. Born on the course, but drawing on the tradition of polo, RLX celebrates classic and iconic products that are meant to be loved, enduring the test of time while focusing on performance-driven design. By blending the sophistication of style with the precision of sport, RLX seamlessly blends performance wear and elevated sportswear. From sophisticated styles to the most technologically advanced fabrics available, RLX is the ultimate in functional luxury and provides pieces that are ready for whatever the conditions bring, both on and off the course. Ralph Lauren is the official outfitter of the United States Ryder Cup team and partner of the AJGA. Ralph Lauren is proud to continue its sponsorship of golf ambassadors Andrea Lee, Billy Horschel, Davis Love III, Devin Bling, Doc Redmond, Jonathan Bird, Nick Watney, Sean Foley, Smiley Kaufman, Todd Anderson, Tom Watson, Trevor Werbelow, Troy Taylor III, Tyler Strafacci, and Zach Johnson. The RLX collection is available in select Ralph Lauren stores, exclusive private clubs and resorts, and online at ralphlauren.com. USA, the chants were ringing through Castle Pines. What a week it was for Keegan Bradley.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? From last guy in, by the way, huge thank you to Tom Kim for the 6-6-6 finish in Memphis, which got Keegan Bradley into the field. Now wins fourth, going to the FedEx Cup standings. Maybe a little thank you from Keegan to Tommy Kim for that closing in Memphis. But dude, I thought it was an awesome week. I got to be up there. I was there Wednesday, was there Thursday, golf course the whole time. I'm curious what you think. I thought Castle Pines showed beautifully. Fans were great. There was a bunch of them, but not too many. The golf course obviously is a beautiful golf course, but it held up really, really nice. I don't think anybody knew what the winning score was going into the week. I talked to one of the sports agent that reps some guys, been around golf for a long, long time, talking to him earlier in the week. He's like 25 under. I was like, no chance 25 under. Like, dude, this isn't like, I know it's at altitude, but you got to hit some golf shots around this place. And then
if
12 under.
If I'm one of his players, I start questioning him representing me going forward.
I was like, 25 isn't TPC Craig Ranch, dude. This you got to hit some shots around, especially if the wind gets going or something, which it did, and it got firm and fast, and boom, 12 under. I thought it was a sweet venue.
Well, you're slightly biased.
Very much, very biased, highly.
But no, I pretty much the only golf I really got to watch was on Sunday, and I thought it looked beautiful. The drone coverage has just changed the game of golf as far as watching it on TV. I mean, what they were able to do going down those fairways, the elevation changes and everything, it was gorgeous. And it once again shows you get a golf course where it bounces a little bit. You got some rough. It gives these guys fits. 13 under pars leading through 36 holes, 12 under par wins. I loved it. I thought, the greens are very severe there, and they got little sections, and with the altitude and with the wind and how bouncy the greens were, it got a little tricky, I would say, for some of those guys. But hey, I like it. Altitude is tough. I think that's one of the reasons we saw Scotty Scheffler kind of struggle was at altitude. A lot of times you don't know exactly what your golf ball is going to do. It depends on how high you hit it. And the best player in the world struggled quite a bit, which was shocking. It's pretty much in every strokes gained category as far as ball striking goes. This was the first time in 2 years he's lost strokes to the field. That's
a pretty good stretch. And he wasn't the only one, dude. It was driving a lot of guys crazy. There was so much math going on, especially on the weekends. Like, okay, it's 200 on 11, but it's adjusted down. It's downhill 20 yards, then you got to add elevation, but there's wind into it, so add another 12. Like, trying to figure out how far to hit the shot was interesting for all those guys. That's why I said going in, like, I don't know that this isn't a golf course I don't think guys would want to play this style of golf week after week after week, but once in a while, we haven't seen it out there. And for it's been since 2006 it was out there, but like going back to the International, you got that 17th, which a lot of fireworks can happen. Keegan Bradley kind of put it to bed there with 5-iron that was just to that front left pin, dude. That's a joke.
Probably
to get
the best
ball
iron
to stop
shot
there. I mean, you did that to the moon. Yep. That is so far up there. Those greens are firm and there's no space there. It gets exciting finishes, and I think it was a fun style of golf to watch. You saw 400-yard 3-woods, but you also saw big numbers from some of the best.
Yeah, you can see a lot of train wrecks out there. And I mean, you look at Ludwig Oberg, who lost by a shot. He made 23 birdies, 2 eagles, 10 bogeys, 3 doubles.
He had 27 in the red.
Yeah.
He just needed not to have as many. He's a guy, like, I feel like he's just scratching the surface of how good he is, because that offense is crazy. Tightening up the bogeys and the mistakes, I think some of that's just maturity playing out there. I feel like that's a lot easier, but even like, I mean, what he's doing right now, where he is in the FedEx Cup standings, seeing all these places for the first time, and I feel like it hasn't even clicked yet. He's got to be, he and Adam Scott with the putter. Adam Scott, you go back to Saturday, the front nine missed a ton inside of 8 feet. Sunday, the same thing, 10, 11, 12, those bogeys, and he ends up losing by a shot. Even had a chance, they had the little miss on 15 too, where he could have really, tightened things up.
I'll give Adam Scott credit, though. One of the best bunker shots I've ever seen on 11. It's unfortunate he didn't pay it off, but he's going to feel like this one probably, he let this one get away. Like, he missed 5 putts inside of 10 feet on Saturday on the front nine. He missed 4 on Sunday on the back nine. But Keegan Bradley, tip your cap to him. I mean, to get in, last guy in the field, goes out there, freewheels it, got nothing to lose. Probably had no plans of being on the President's Cup team. He was going to be a vice captain. Didn't really have many plans of being at Eastlake. He is now in 4th. The standings are done for the President's Cup. He moved up to 10th. I think he's going to be a captain's pick.
I think he's on it. Yeah. If it's not, it's a huge miss, I think.
Now he's got a chance to go out and win the FedEx Cup. I mean, just imagine that. Being named Ryder Cup captain, sneaking into the second playoff event, and then possibly winning it, making $25 million. Really impressive. And like I said, I don't want to jump too far ahead and say, is he going to pick himself for the Ryder Cup? That's a long ways from now. But right now, he's up to 11th in the world. He's one of the best players in the world, and he deserves to be on that team, the President's Cup team.
Let's just play the little game that everybody's going to play. Fast forward. Let's just say exact same scenario. He wins the golf tournament. He moves up to 10th. But it's next year. It's not a President's Cup year. It's a Ryder Cup year. He's said, I won't pick myself unless I get voted in essentially by the automatic qualifiers. What do you think would happen if this was a year from now? I mean, there's so much that to happen, but it's fun to speculate.
Well, if the Ryder Cup was 3 weeks away, like it is right now, I think the top 6 automatic qualifiers and probably numbers 7 and 8 who are going to be on that team would say, yeah, we want him. We want you to play. You're playing as good as anybody. And then I suggest the idea that you and I go as co-captains, just so he can focus on playing.
That feels right. We're big analytics guys. They're going to need those numbers crunched.
You want to play with him? Perfect. He wants to play with you?
Raise
Sounds
your
good
hand
to me.
if you want to play together. All right, you go get them.
Yeah.
2 good golfers. They're going to figure it out. Denver as a whole showed up nicely, I thought. Yeah. Peyton Manning in the house a lot, by the way. Upcoming guest. Brandon Stokely, recurring guest, on the bag for Peyton. Was talking a lot about his caddy skills leading up. Colt, I go out there, meet up with him on the 14th hole after radio. See Stokely walking down the fairway, carrying the bag like a briefcase. And I'm like, what's going on? The strap must have broke on the bag or something. Get up there by the green, catch up with him, go inside there. He's like, dude, my shoulder. He's like, my shoulder can't handle it. He's the NFL guy, by the way. He's like, and by the way, Peyton's hitting it 12 yards on every shot, and I got to keep picking it up and putting it down, all this stuff. So soft as they come from Brandon. Don't ever let him forget that when we have him back on.
Just not as tough as he used to be. And not to spoil in the episode, but there was a lot of talk about you and him battling it out on some gin.
Yeah.
Apparently, you both got nervous and didn't even play each other.
We got, that was supposed to happen. There was supposed to be multiple games, and we got a little distracted. The social element of the golf tournament kind of got to us, and unfortunately, we didn't play. I would have busted his head like I always do. Last funny story about the Peyton deal. Gets up on the first hole. He's paired with Wyndham, who is the guy up there this week. Tons of people out there watching Peyton. They don't have very good taste in
Denver.
What's that?
They don't have very good taste in Denver.
He greeted me, dude, on the tram to the baggage claim at the airport. It's like, do-do-do-do-do. Welcome to Denver. This is Wyndham Clark, and I went to Valor Christian, and this is my set. It was humbling. That used to be John Elway when I was a kid welcoming me. Now it's fucking Wyndham, okay?
Yeah.
That one cut me deep. But Peyton gets up there on the first tee, bunch of people around, nervous, obviously, and he's a single-digit handicap. He can hit it cold top off the first, and he plays it off, and he's joking, he's laughing, but Stokely's former radio partner was there inside the ropes, gets it on video. He's like, oh, I'm going to post this. Look, Peyton's just like us, right? Posts it, starts going, people picking it up. PGA Tour ends up picking it up. It goes out. We tell him later in the day that, dude, Peyton has found out that you tweeted this out, making fun of him. He is so pissed. And this is Peyton is God, more or less to this guy. And we had him just freaking out for multiple hours, never coming on the show, boycotting all your shit, thought it was totally uncalled for, and then finally let him in. But it was a good
That's what friends do.
A good little sesh for. He's like, dude, call him right now.
I love that. Stoke, call him. I know. I opened up social media when I landed in LA, and the first thing I see is Peyton topping it off the first hole. I'm like, oh my God, he's got to be mortified right now.
Yeah, and I think that kind of made him uncomfortable for the rest of the day, according to Stoke. But Yeah, Stoke had to have guest caddies because there's a bunch of people inside the ropes with him carrying his bag for him.
Stoke,
He's softest dude
I'm always
on the
on
planet.
your side, but God, you're being a diva.
So soft.
But no, it was awesome. I wish we had more events in Denver. I say the same thing about Chicago, Boston, New York, like these big sports cities. They show up. The crowds show up. The players love playing in front of massive crowds. I mean, look what happens here every year at Phoenix. Dallas used to be kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's obviously changed. Charlotte's fantastic. I love going to the big sports markets. Like I said, the fans come out. It makes it feel like such a special event. I know the players love it too.
Yeah, and I think I thought it was really cool in 18. They let the fans walk up. It was a very respectful. I don't attend many we go to a lot of golf tournaments, but it's normally like Wednesday practice rounds, and then I don't actually there on site for the tournaments. I showed up on Thursday. I was like, oh, where's all the people puking and the raging and what's the fighting going on? Like, this feels very civilized out here. This is a lot different than the Phoenix Open, but Denver as a whole I thought was spectacular. And just to reward those fans, like you want golf to stay as popular as possible. There's a lot of people, Texas, we've said should probably have a signature event going forward just to get those guys out there in Denver. They loved it. Yeah, it was a big deal out there.
Shout out to George Solich, Western Golf Association, the Evans Scholars. They do awesome stuff up there, and they put on a great show. And I know they'll be wanting to have a PGA Tour event back very soon. But we got to give some credit to Lydia Ko as well, who won her third major championship. It's been an unreal 3 weeks for her. Wins the gold medal, which got her the gold, the silver, and the bronze in the Olympics. Now went to St. Andrews, won the AIG Women's Open Championship by one shot. Actually ended up winning by two. Lilyville missed a short one there at the end, but it was wild, man. The weather was terrible. 7 under 1. She birdied the 72nd hole. So congrats to Lydia Ko. That was really cool to watch, and just another major championship for Subpar.
That's right. Put it on the wall. Also, just at the Olympics with the gold, that gave her enough points to get in the Hall of Fame. Boom, she's there. She ain't done. I don't know how long you're going to have her in women's professional golf. When we talked to her, like, look, I ain't going to play for forever, but she's winning a bunch while she's there.
They asked her what her goal was after she won the gold medal, and she says, I want to win one more major before I call it quits. Her plan is to call it quits to retire at 30. She's 27. Well, she just went ahead and knocked that one out of the park real quickly. So she said now, though, she's like, hey, I can step away whenever I want. I'm going to be very satisfied.
How about retiring at 30? That's a good goal, isn't it? God.
I retired.
We're way behind.
I retired / quit and got more jobs.
Yeah. Worked harder.
God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Retired at 30. Shout out to her. Shout out to Castle Pines. George Stoltz, as you mentioned, a spectacular week up there. And Keegan Bradley. Captain Keegan Bradley. Potentially playing vice captain at the President's Cup.
You better bring the energy.
You got to bring the energy, dude. I'm telling you, I was hyped getting back home, seeing all the fellas for the first time. You know why? Because I had my 5-hour energy. Special transfusion flavored, by the way. And golf is long. It's a marathon sport. And you need endurance to do it right. That's why 5-hour energy is changing the game with their new transfusion flavored shot. Here to bring the feeling of energy you need to make it through all 18 holes. We all know what a transfusion is. It's that delicious grape, ginger, and lime drink we love to get at the Bev Cart or the clubhouse. Well, 5-hour energy has captured all of that flavor with no alcohol, of course, in this new shot. Filled with vitamins, nutrients, and about as much caffeine as 12 ounces of the leading premium coffee, a transfusion 5-hour energy shot lets you skip your pre-putt cafe run and head straight to the first hole. You know what that means. More time to take your shot where it matters the most. With 0 sugar and just 4 calories, a transfusion 5-hour energy shot lets you bring the energy to every swing, every hole, and every moment on the course. Transfusion 5-hour energy is only available for a short time, so be sure to grab yours before they're gone. Head over to 5, that's the numeral 5, hourenergy.com now, so they'll be in hand before your next tee time. Transfusions and getting hyped at the same time. That's nice.
Nice little combo there.
I like.
And our guest this week might need a little 5-hour energy because it's been a hell of a stretch for him. He's got to be exhausted, but he is running on pure adrenaline right now. From right down the road, here it goes to Arizona State. Superstar in the making. The newest U.S. amateur champion, Jose Luis Ballester, joins us on Golf Subpar.
All righty, folks. The champ is here. Fresh off his win up at Hazeltine, we have Arizona State senior to be and the first Spanish U.S. amateur champion, Jose Luis Ballester. Good to be with you. Trophy in hand, too, by the way.
She pretty, huh?
There's a beaut.
She's a beaut.
Say something.
You're so close.
I had a talk with her earlier. I was like, baby, you should have been mine. I'm sorry you were unhappy back in 2007. But now she's in good hands again with you.
Man, it is a beautiful trophy. It's I mean, give us your thought. Has this sunk in yet?
Not yet. Still gonna need a couple more days to soak it in. It's been really busy morning, and I think I'm already like realizing what it comes with winning this event. But I still gonna need a couple more days to soak it in.
What comes with it is a lot of annoying ass media people.
I mean, could be annoying at some points, but man, I wish I could have this problem every day.
Hey, they don't interview the guys that miss match play.
You're right.
I can attest. It's factual. That's factual. You said it's been, 48 hours since you won this thing? Walk us through it. What's it been like from the time you got that trophy, Havermeyer?
Well, we had that quick ceremony outside on the putting green, and then signing many autographs, and then one inside, talked to some media. I think I finished around 5. And then I left the golf course around 8:30. Oh, like ceremony inside. I think I've never signed as many autographs as I did on Sunday. All the flags, all the yardage book posters, everything.
Body parts, I was told.
Yeah.
Also.
This is funny. I signed 2 foreheads, 1 cheek, 1 arm. And I told my caddy before the championship match that I was 1 victory away to sign a tit.
Hell yeah. That'll I love that.
One more, I get booby.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's beautiful. You finished all that up. Obviously, adrenaline's rather high at the moment.
Yep.
What was the rest of the night like? Did you eventually just crash?
I was super exhausted. I had a couple friends over there, my caddy and another guy that came to watch me play. So I just spent the night with them. Went to a place to grab some food and then had some rest. Because I didn't sleep very well the day before the championship match, but I did sleep very good after I won the tournament. So
Well deserved too. I mean, it's a long week. I don't think people
It is.
realize it's so much golf. I mean, you have 6 matches, two stroke play rounds, practice rounds. I mean, you earned some much deserved sleep after that.
and also coming from Spain because I wasn't here.
Okay.
I was supposed to get to the States the 8th. Well, get to Minneapolis the 8th. My flight got canceled. So I had to reschedule everything, and then I ended up coming the 9th and practice on 10th, 11th, and then tournament begun. So
Wow, that's pretty impressive. But take us through leading into the week, because we talked about it. We had you on our SiriusXM radio show earlier today, but you're the 10th ranked amateur in the world at the time. Rankings haven't come out yet.
likely,
You're going to move up.
You're going to move up a little bit,
Yeah.
I think. But there was a lot of talk about 1, 2, 3 in the world. They grouped them together. There you are, the 10th. In my opinion, one of the favorites going in. But where was your confidence at going in? Did you believe your game was in a spot where you could win at the end of the week?
definitely. I was hitting the ball coming in really, really good. Practicing with my coach Victor, and he said to me that he had never seen me practicing as good as I was doing. We all know that practice and competition are 2 completely different things. But yeah, I hit it really well as well in the practice rounds and made it to match play, and it's a completely different event over there. So I had the chance to keep hitting the ball well and win my matches.
Did you feel overlooked at all, given that like Luke Clanton doing what he's done on the PGA Tour? Preston Severhays, Jackson Coyvan, Gordon Sargent, all those guys get a lot of the attention. And here you are, 10th in the world, and like you weren't really talked about until you got later into match play. Did you feel overlooked?
Maybe. I mean, the guys that you mentioned definitely deserve the attention that they were getting. I'm a great amateur, but I haven't accomplished, or I hadn't accomplished the things that they have done in the past few months or years. So they definitely deserve the attention that they were getting. And I feel like I was in a good spot of, I'm a great player. Maybe I'm not getting the attention that I should, but I'm in a good position to do something great.
Yeah, you make it to match play, you start rolling. You had to beat a guy named Tiger, though.
Yeah,
That can be a
tough
little
draw.
intimidating.
a little bit.
To be fair, though, talk a little bit about him, because he's a hell of a player.
He is, he's really, really good player, good ball striker. I mean, his name's Tiger, perfect swing. So it's like, could be a little bit intimidating, especially after playing a good stroke play and beating Gordon Sargent. But again, I beat Ben James playing really good golf, so I felt confident enough that I could win against him.
Yeah, your road to the finals was interesting, because you had Ben James, who was very good, your fellow countryman, who was a hell of a player as well. But then you got 2 mid-ams there in the middle. One, State Farm Insurance guy that he runs a branch up in West Virginia, and Christian Brand, and then a personal trainer and Bobby Massa. What was it like playing those two? Because I feel like going into most matches, when you're one of the best in the world and you're playing college golf, you kind of know, okay, that guy's good. I got to deal with him. That guy's good. I got to deal with him. But then you come across 2 mid-ams. What was kind of the mindset going into playing them?
It's definitely quite different because it's been the first time ever that I've played in an event of this magnitude against 2 mid-ams. But it was kind of cool because you couldn't get lazy or relax. I knew I had to bring it, and if they were there, it's because they were playing really good freaking golf. Yeah. So I had the chance to keep doing what I was doing and win both of my matches, but it felt a little bit different.
Yeah, and you're normally one of the longest guys. I mean,
yeah.
You don't play with many guys that hit it farther than you, but you go against Bobby Massa, who can smash it.
I mean, have you seen his arms?
Yeah, I mean, he's a personal trainer. He works
Heard
out.
He's a trainer.
Works out with Derrick Henry. I mean, he can swing at like 130 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive. I used to say that I hadn't played in college with a guy that hits it longer than me. And this week I played with a couple of guys that drove me multiple times. So it was quite interesting.
One of them was 36 with a job. I mean, that dude was smashing it. And be honest though, like if you're at the USAM, if you lose one of the top ranked amateurs, like a guy like yourself, like, okay, they're good players, but there's a little more pressure, I feel like, going against a mid-am when it's like, yeah, this guy's an insurance salesman. Like, I know he's playing good golf or he wouldn't be where he is in the US amateur, but...
Well, I feel like the good thing about it is that, I knew that they were mid-ams, but that was it. I didn't know anything else from them. So I think that also helped me of, okay, just do your thing. Not like what you said, the insurance thing or whatever. I didn't know that. Yeah. Then about Christian, my caddy Alberto did some research, and we figured out that he played in the Conferry for a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I was in a good position going in against them because I was playing good golf and I didn't know much about them. So I knew that most likely if I play my game, I should beat them.
Yeah. You talk about your distance. Like, what kind of ball speed can you get it up to?
My highest ball speed ever has been 201.
Okay, that's cool.
What do you cruise playing a golf tournament? Where do you like to live?
I would say like high 80s, low 90s. Yeah.
That's nice. I
cool.
feel like that's advantageous.
I've played Hazeltine a few times where he drove it. I was like, this course doesn't really look that hard from here.
Yeah, dude. I saw a few shots. There's like a par 5. I'm blanking on what hole it is, but it was like, 258 here. And or you hit the 5 iron from 250 on the par 3, 8 iron from 200 on the par 3.
No, but the ball was going especially long this week.
I feel like 3 clubs long?
No, yeah. You're right, but it was going, I mean, we all know how far it goes here in Arizona. But surprisingly, it was going pretty far. It was pretty hot out there.
201. That's
the driver off the deck. There was a driver off the deck, if I'm not mistaken, like 315 or something.
There was one on hole 3 against Christian. I mean, I gotta talk you through the other drivers of the deck that I hit before that one because it felt like every time I was in a driver of the deck, it was better than the previous one. I had one, the stroke play on 11 with the mini driver, like a high smooth cut center of the green. Then I proceeded to 3-putt.
Nice.
And then the following day against Ben James, my first match play on 11, I hit another driver of the deck from 280, drove the green, 2-putt and won the hole. And then the following day in round of 16 against Christian on hole 3, I had 292 meters, sliding to the wind. I couldn't even see the pin because I was on the right side of the fairway. And I talked to my caddy. I'm like, let's send it. I mean, why not? It's early in the round, feeling good. Why not? And as soon as I hit it, I just could hear the guys following me. I was like, wow, oh my God, no way. And I just looked back and some of the faces were like, what? And I got to the green and the ball was like 12 feet from the pin.
Yeah. So I showed up. That was the first day I covered your matches. And I showed up and got there, I think, when you're on 6th green. And I had 10 people in the gallery come up like, you're not going to believe this shot he hit on 3. And then 7's the par 5, and it was downwind that day.
Yes.
And you sent one over the corner. I think you hit like 8 iron, like 12 feet. 7 iron?
Yep.
I said 8 iron, so I made it sound even better. I was guessing. But I mean, it was like 585 driver, 7 iron. Pretty ridiculous.
I know. And it was quite interesting because we played the course with all the possible wins. And you could tell, I mean, you saw me in that hole hitting driver 7 iron, but the final match I was hitting like almost mini driver. So it was quite fun to play Hazeltine that different. We had to make some adjustments, but it was cool. And yeah, it's nice when you have a 7 iron into a par 5.
The 3 matches prior to the championship, I believe you trailed at some point. in those three
Yes.
matches. At what point, any of the three, did you look at it? Like, where was your level of concern the highest?
Both of my matches against the Midams were pretty similar. I felt like the front nine, I was out ball striking them by a mile, but I wasn't really making those passes that make you start like 3 out of 6, which I could have easily done. And couple mistakes made me to lose the lead and actually be one down at a certain point. And the semifinal against Luis, he started playing really good golf, and we both did. So I was one down, but I was playing great golf.
Yeah, y'all were trading some birdies early on there. And then we get to the finals. You're playing Noah Kent of Iowa. There was a slight bias towards him, I would say. I mean, the crowd was definitely on his side. A lot of Iowa people out there, a lot of Caitlin Clark T-shirts going on. Take us through that, because you got off to a dream start. You were 4 up through the morning 18.
Yeah. It was a weird feeling because as soon as I finished those 18, I was kind of down emotionally. I felt like if I putted a little bit better, I could have almost closed the final match over there. I feel like I could have been 7 up at the turn. I was hitting the ball really good, and he wasn't really doing that great in those first 18. And yeah, I took an advantage, but I didn't take the advantage I thought I could have taken. And yeah, they delayed the second match 30 extra minutes.
Yeah.
We had a long break, so just trying to stay loose with my headphones, trying to be with my caddy. We played this machine. I don't know what's the name, but the one that it's like a golf machine, and you had a
Golden Tee.
Yes.
Yeah.
We played that. Made 4 birdies in 5 holes, so felt confident for the.
Good plan, dude.
So felt confident for the second round. Had a nice warm up. Hit the ball much better than what I did in the morning in the warm up. And yeah, started off nice, but he started off
so
incredible.
I told Sleaze, I mean, we were out there. That's when we came on TV. Was right at the start of the afternoon match. That chip in, the roar, for the amount of people there, I don't know if you could be any louder.
It was like a circus.
Whew. That was nuts.
Did that add any like fuel to the fire? Put a chip on your shoulder? Because I mean, I'm sure
No,
you're
but
locked in, but you noticed the difference in cheers.
You know, he hit that second shot, it flew the green. Didn't hit my approach shot that well. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna struggle to make up and down from there. And I was almost thinking more like going 5 up than being 3 up. And that was almost like a wake up call saying, okay, man, this guy's gonna bring it, and his people is here. So you better play good if you wanna win this, because it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, let's go to the 18th here, because you had a 4 up lead with a few to play. He gets it down to 1 with 1 to play. And here we are on 18 at Hazeltine. It all comes down to this. What were the nerves like standing on that 18th tee?
I was surprisingly calm. I don't know why, but I think it's because I've had a hard time lately, just with some personal stuff when I came back to Spain, and it's when I realized that golf isn't everything, and it's pretty cool to be in a position to win a championship like this. But I'm like, okay, I still have some shit to figure out when I finish this event, and it's not related to golf. So I think that mindset coming to the week really helped me to stay calm in the pressure moments. And again, I knew that I had lost 3 holes in the last few holes, but I was confident with the situation what I was, feeling really confident with my swing, and I was pretty calm.
The drive was beautiful. The second shot, I gotta think you hit that within a yard probably of where you were looking, right? Given he was in the bunker, tough shot. Like, look, make him make 3.
Yeah, exactly. It was a hard number. 169 meters, playing like 183, 185 yards. Slightly into of the right. I knew I was just. I mean, it's kind of funny, but when I have that pressure, I feel here in my forearms. I feel like the blood is pumping way more than in what it does normally. And in those situations, I usually like to hit the less club and go after it. But the way I was feeling calmer than usual, and and how good I was hitting my knockdown shots all week, and how good I was feeling with my tempo. I'm like, there's no reason why changing and hitting the short club. Just trust your knockdown shot, trust your tempo, and hit the shot, and it came out so nice.
It was perfect. And I'll say this. I was out there all week. Nobody, because it was windy for the most part, nobody controlled the spin on their wedges better than you. It wasn't even close. Like, you hit so many cool shots. It looked like you hit pitching wedge a few times from like 105 yards back into the wind. It was beautiful.
Thank you. I mean, something that I've worked so much since the day I got to ASU. I've always been a mediocre wedge player growing up, and I knew that if I wanted to take my golf to the next level, that's the thing that I needed to improve the most. And it's nice to see people noticing that in the biggest stage of amateur golf. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the wedges were good. The length obviously gets all the attention, I thought. And when he and I kind of broke it down, I was like, some of the short game shot, your bunker game especially. Like, I'm hard pressed to remember one where it was like not great, where it wasn't like most of the time you were kicking them in. If not, you were getting as close as you possibly could. I thought the short game, in a few spots where you needed it to kind of keep the mo in the round, it showed up every time.
Yeah, short game was so dialed all week. I found a couple of things in the rough because you've got some interesting lies in that rough, and I found something that really helped. We all know that the most important thing when we have that thick rough is not decelerate through the impact, and I was doing that really well. But something that helped was lowering my hands a little bit more, and the ball was coming like pretty high and smooth. And in the bunker again, I felt super confident. I felt like the bunkers were easy. I don't know if you noticed, but the way they were raked,
way they rake them, yeah,
it was only like in the middle. The ball could only stay in the middle. So that made it a little bit easier. I knew that every time I was in the bunker, I was in a good position. So I took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's like isn't that how they rake them in Australia, right?
Yeah.
So you get flat lie virtually every time.
You can get some clumps behind it though, the way they all rake it in the middle. But yeah, your bunker game was amazing. Your short game was just fantastic all the way around. I want to talk a little bit about, I mean, just you. Everyone I talk to, you're a freak athlete, freak talent. Your parents, both Olympians, which is just unbelievable. Have you always just been like really good at sports your whole life?
A little bit, yeah. Growing
Don't
up,
be humble. This isn't the show to be humble on. Just like, I'm fucking sweet at everything.
Not like that, but I was pretty great at tennis growing up. I love tennis, and I still do. My dad was a swimmer, so I had to swim. I hated it. I never liked it. And then golf. I was really good at golf, and I had to choose golf because I was a little bit better than tennis. And yeah, probably the genes from my parents also help a little bit growing up.
Yeah, I mean, your
mom
mom
might have never heard of Carlos Alcaraz. You know what I mean? If you just stayed with that game. Do you have any relationship with him? You heard from him?
I met him once. He probably has no clue who I am. But I met him right before he got famous. When he turned 18, and he was the first time that he played Rafa Nadal in Madrid. He was coming from that event, and I've met him at an airport because I was with Sergio Garcia's brother, and he's good friends with his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero. And I had the chance to have like a snack with him and chat with him for a little bit. But that's all I know from him personally.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah.
By the way, your mom won a gold medal in the Olympics in field hockey.
Pretty cool, huh?
That is ridiculous.
Can I ask one question? Because Colt, going back to the golf tournament, Colt and I discussed this, and we kind of drew a blank on it. 16th hole there. Toughest drive on the golf course, right? It can play 400 yards. It can play 385 yards. It is a short par 4. You guys that are playing it, hit it 350 yards regularly. What was, but I saw guys hit it in the lake, saw guys hit it in the creek, over the creek. What kept guys from hitting iron off that tee, and then you could still have a wedge?
I feel like the fact that almost nobody hit irons is that you're not guaranteed to hit that fairway with an iron. And the angle of the second shot with an iron, especially to the mid-back pins, is challenging, especially if you have that wind coming off the lake. You don't want to have like an 8-iron to a back pin over the water again after hitting a tough tee shot. So it took me a while to find the way of how to play that shot. I hit a really nice mini driver on the stroke play, but then I hit one in the creek and another one left of the creek.
Over the creek was nice. That one worked out nice.
Spot.
I need a good shot.
That was a good spot.
Yeah, you should just blow it over that thing every time.
And then I kind of found the shot. I was hitting it pretty straight, and because I didn't want to aim farther right. And then I started trusting a little bit more my cut, aiming almost to the creek and trust my cut, and it worked out pretty well. And I would almost say that even that final driver on the championship match, it was a great drive, but hit the last branch of the tree, and I got a terrible lie.
Yeah, that was tough. And then somehow I went over there and looked for your golf ball when it was in the tall stuff in the penalty. I didn't even see it, and then you whacked it out of there. But
I had an outside look at 4 on that, which would have been just if you're Noah and find that and hack it out, make the 40-footer for par, I was like, that would be just
devastating.
Yeah, that would have been the end of it.
You're very close with Sergio Garcia. You mentioned your coach Victor earlier, which is Sergio's dad. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Sergio and what kind of advice was he giving you throughout the week?
Yeah, well, I've known the Garcia family for 7-8 years. I grew up in a small 9-hole golf course close to my place, but when I turned 13, I started playing better at the national level. I moved up to this other golf course, which is just better conditions, bigger, and like better facilities. And that's how I met Victor and his family. And growing up, I had the chance to play with Sergio multiple times, and especially got really close to him in the past few years. And yeah, it was pretty nice to have him following really closely all week and getting his messages after every match play. He called me the night before, gave me a couple of advices, especially how to deal with the crowd, because he played the Ryder Cup over there against Phil, one of the greatest single matches, if not the best ever in the Ryder Cup. So he kind of told me that the best way you can shut them up is playing your golf.
Yes, no doubt. He was involved in one of the best matches, can give you some great advice. I actually talked to him some the night before.
Okay.
And he told me about the mini driver. Said the head was actually Victor's, and then the shaft was his.
Yeah.
And it has the scores from his 2017 Masters win on it.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's pretty cool. And this comes from the British Amateur, because I lost in the 64 round of match play against this guy that was using a mini driver. And before that, I used to play a 5-wood that I barely use. I used it more for chipping than for actually hitting it. And I mentioned that to Victor, and he was like, "Okay, let me think about it." And he gave me his head, and in his office with all the shafts and class he has, he pulled out this one. And an interesting fact about this is that Sergio, I don't know if he still does this, but for a very long time, he used to play with extra lead on his grip. So if you grab the shaft by itself, the feeling is pretty weird because you only feel the grip.
Yeah.
So I had no expectations at all when I used the club. I'm like, man, this shaft, there's no way it's going to work out. It's meant for him. I'm going to use it, but we're going to have to find another one. First 2 shots I hit, came like this. And I'm like, look at Victor. I'm like, damn, this is nice. Following week, I played the European Amateur Championship. I was the defending champion. And it was unbelievable the way I hit the club. And it made me hit my regular driver way better. Because I feel like I needed that club really badly, because the way the courses are designed, they're not designed for a guy that hits a 350. So I feel like, especially in college, many courses, I had to go straight from the driver to the 3-iron because I didn't want to hit the 5-wood of the tee. Mm-hmm. So where I put my driver was pretty tight, and then I had to put it to the water side. And then I was losing my advantage of the distance compared to the other field. So now I have this club that goes like 20 yards less than my driver, and then I can hit confident enough that I'm going to put it in the fairway farther than my 3-iron. So it's been a good discoverment for sure.
Worked out okay.
I hate these courses that don't set up for 350
Right?
altitude. It's my fucking issue, dude. No, yeah, exactly, dude. They're not building them. They're not building them for me. Arizona State, did John Rahm have anything to do with you coming here?
Not really. Didn't know John that much when I came to ASU. But obviously, it was more like the Spanish culture of ASU, right? Alex DeBray, David Puig, Alejandro Cañizares, Azar La Carlota. So it was more like all of them knowing that they are having success on tour and they had success at ASU. So all of that, and also that as soon as I visited ASU, I loved the place.
Nice scenery.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a beautiful Beautiful campus.
I mean, well, fortunately, I don't go to Tempe campus. I actually go to downtown, which is kind of sketchy.
You go to the downtown campus?
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Why?
It's unfortunate.
Why?
I mean,
what are you studying?
Because I do sports science, and the College of Health Solutions is in downtown. I mean, ASU is massive, so they gotta kind of distribute to other places. And I wish I could go to Tempe campus, honestly.
Yeah, maybe do it remotely, like from the rec center.
Yeah, well,
the workout facility.
Last year I had one class at Tempe campus. It's kind of funny. I had yoga class at 7:30 a.m.
Yoga's a class.
Yoga's a class.
I bet that's a pretty. That's a. Did you
The
pass?
old
Did you get
Harvard
through
way,
that?
once again, is proven. Yoga's a class.
Hey, but it's not that hard to pass that class because 90% of the grade is attendance. If you don't go to class,
So you just got to show up, stretch it.
7:30 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. It wasn't that easy.
Downward dog is your final. Go.
I learned how to do inversions, like these kind of like things. You put your head in the ground and against the wall. That was my thing in yoga class.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you
Coach probably
passed.
loves
I
that.
passed.
That a boy.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about this. Sleaze wouldn't know anything about it, but when you win this beautiful trophy,
Here we go.
You get some invites to some rather special tournaments: the Masters, U.S. Open, Open Championship if you stay amateur that long. But we had you on our SiriusXM show earlier today, and I said, imagine you're going to be at the Masters next year, teeing it up alongside the number one player in the world on Thursday and Friday, and the defending champion at the Masters, and Scotty Scheffler, and you had no idea.
No clue. I mean, I was already excited that most likely I'm going to be playing the practice round with John, Sergio, and all that stuff. And then as soon as you said, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to have more people watching than what I had a couple days ago.
Slightly.
So that's super cool. I better be ready to at least compete with Scotty. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
He's
one of
probably shitting bricks right now too, dude. Don't sleep on that. You can send him a message right here. You want to look in that camera and tell you to come to get him.
No, that's one of the cool traditions. Though.
That's
I mean, it's
awesome,
always it's
yeah, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
now when you said that, I thought about it. I'm like, of course, yeah. I mean, Sam Bennett played with him and with Brooks, right? Well, I don't know.
Can't remember who the third was. It's always
I don't remember who the third. Is it? Sometimes they do the Open Champion. I feel like.
sometimes like last year, I
Is it
believe,
Harmon?
because Nick Dunlap actually was playing as a pro because he earned a
Yeah.
spot.
So he had like
Changed
a
up.
different, yeah.
It
No,
changed.
no, he stayed
Did he
in it.
still do it?
He stayed in it because he was the U.S. Amateur champion. It's the
Oh,
second
okay.
time ever, I think, the Am Champ has played as a pro.
Okay.
But he was with obviously John Rahm and I thought Matt Fitzpatrick. But
he was-
yeah, they always put
It's
they
a
always put
good-
another major champion in
It's
there.
gonna be a good one.
He won't be a
that you
scrub.
got.
You'll be
Yeah.
playing with another big.
How do you
big time
decide
player.
which teammates or who in general comes to practice rounds for Augusta, which you get to start taking at some point,
or
Don't know
which
when that starts.
podcasters?
Yeah, or just friends
Just
that kind
saying.
of been there from the jump before you were USM. Auction it off,
Yeah. I mean,
bribes.
I don't know if he knows how everything works yet. I mean, like once the course opens, like you can go
You
play
get to
pretty
go.
much as
Really?
much as you want.
I mean, I honestly don't know that much about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, growing up is the first tournament I've ever watched, but the only thing I know is that Wednesday is a par 3s, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, once
This
you
is
get your
sick. I feel like we're breaking news right now to him, dude. You
Yeah.
get to go there, play. You get to play with Scotty. That'll be sick.
yeah, and once you get the invitation, like and the course is open. I don't know how far in advance you have to call ahead. And there's certain rules, like you have to take one of their
bet.
caddies and stuff,
Yeah.
but you can go start playing practice rounds later this year.
That'll be pretty sweet.
Yeah, we'll be available. Just let us know. I have one trivia question to get to before we go
boy.
to the E9 here. You got it. You're 3-time All-American.
Okay.
At ASU, you have the chance to become only the 5th 4-year All-American at ASU. Can you name the other 4?
John Rahm,
Yes.
Phil Mickelson.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
One, I feel like you'll get.
I'm sorry for the other two.
Yeah, there you go. Canizares.
I think I know
the
the
last
other
one is if you get this, then you're like a student of the game. Although he's a great dude and still in town, and you should meet him. I'll just give it to you because if you don't know, you don't know it. Todd Dempsey. How about that?
Wow.
Toddy, who's playing
wouldn't have gotten
Champions Tour Q School with Persimmon Golf Clubs just for fun, basically.
what it
So that's an elite list, dude. 4
Yeah,
times.
it'll be
4X.
pretty cool to join them. Yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
do it.
You're well on your way. All right, now it's time for some fun. We're
right,
getting to
so-
the E9, the fun questions.
All right, let's do it.
And you're a young fella, so we're gonna ask you this one. We mix it
Okay.
up sometimes. Our first one, celebrity crush.
Okay, it's always been Margot Robbie.
Oh goddamn! You're
I
gonna
mean, think about it for a second.
competition is stiff.
Yeah,
For Margot.
I know.
she's about 75% around here. everyone
And
couldn't
a
have been-
variety of ages.
Yeah,
Yep.
You're probably the youngest. We've had some older gentlemen. that like her as well. Good pick though. Let's see where I want to start here. All right, when did you decide to have Colt's twin brother as your caddy? That was a cool deal.
That's funny because
Who was that guy? I saw him on the screen. I was like, holy shit.
one of my best friends for a long time. He's helped me a lot. He's from the same place where I grew up. He worked for the Valencian Federation. So he traveled with me to many team events growing up. A good friend of mine. And he lives in Spain, but in August, they spent like a month in San Luis because his wife is from San Luis. So yeah, I just thought, hey, I don't have anybody to look for me this week. Are you available? And he's always available. So
He's always available.
That's nice kind of caddy to
and it
have.
was funny because then I saw some parts of the broadcast and there was like a moment in which they kind of compared.
Yeah. Well, he
I like
texted
texted.
me.
I was like, what the fuck's going on? Are you in two places at once?
Yeah, a bunch of social media people were like, "How are you broadcasting and caddying?" And then so I mentioned it on air, and then they put that side by side,
Yeah,
and
that was funny.
I showed him the picture after y'all won, and he started
Yeah.
dying laughing.
Pretty funny.
Good looking man, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Once I heard him going in Spanish, I was like, all right, it's not you.
All right. Rumor has it you can fall asleep anytime, anywhere. Give me like the craziest place you've ever woke up and you're like, "Oh my god, where am I?" Even though your teammates
What are you, a cop?
say either your teammates say you claim you don't sleep at all.
I mean, I just take advantage of the dead times, right? If there is nothing to do, well, I'll take a nap. I don't think I have that many weird places where I've fallen asleep, but all the car drives you can imagine, planes. I don't have any issues to fall asleep in planes.
So jealous.
That's why I never have jet lag, which is something pretty cool. When I go out, then I can fall asleep perfectly and I'll be fine the following morning. So yeah, it's like a superpower, I guess.
So jealous.
Keep that. Smart man. All right. Next one. You've been roommates with Preston Summerhays for a while. Give me the worst trait or thing that annoys you the most that Preston does as a roommate.
Oh, he's the nastiest roommate you can have. He's really nasty. Yeah.
And what do you mean?
I mean, he's very messy. But the thing is that he's organized in his mess, but his mess is very messy. One of the things he does the most is when he takes a shower, he starts like leaving his dirty clothes in the bathroom on the side, and it could be like 2 weeks, and the pile of clothes is like this tall. Till the moment that I'm like, please, dude. I mean, just if do it for me. I mean, not for you, do it for me.
Take him to your room, Preston.
You got a laundry? Y'all got a laundry machine? Who's doing this?
What?
Come on, boy.
He's such a button-up dude. I feel like
he
he'd be like the OCD.
Once last year, towards the end of the season, her mom had to come to the house to
clean it up.
clean it up
Yeah.
just to get it livable.
yeah.
Damn, wouldn't have expected that from
Barb's
Diddy.
a saint, though. She
She
would do
is.
those kind of
We're gonna
things.
have to have a talk with Boyd.
But I feel like many great players are pretty unorganized, like outside golf. So I think that could be why he's that way.
All right, good. That worked out nicely.
hilarious.
Good answer.
You mentioned tennis. You love it. People might say you get a little more fired up playing tennis than you do golf. So have you broken more tennis rackets or golf clubs?
Tennis rackets, more than tennis rackets, because I mean I don't play tennis that often, but I've broke many ping pong paddles,
okay.
many. Because I'm good at tennis, especially because all the guys on the team suck. So every time I play with them, I get worse. So I don't play tennis because of that. But in ping pong, I'm not that great, and yeah, I've broke many paddles. Actually, one of the routines that I had this past week after playing every single day, I went into the USGA room there was in the hotel, and we played some ping pong, me and Alberto. Even the day after the 36-hole match and everything, straight to the ping pong to kind of like bring all my emotions out. And we were both sucking this week at ping pong, so broke a couple paddles, threw a paddle, almost broke the TV.
Now we're
Got
talking.
Love this.
kind of lucky that there were not any cameras inside that room, because I would have been kicked out of it, almost kicked out of the tournament maybe.
Nah.
But but yeah, I'm pretty chill inside the golf course. Don't really get
Very chill, I thought.
Yeah. Also, I think it depends on the situation. Last year, I got a couple of warnings of bad behavior because I'm not proud of what I did. But in Pac-12s, at Desert Forest, I kind of lost my swing. And the final round, we were in contention for the championship, and it started double, par, triple, and I hit like 4 shots out of bunker, and I couldn't put on the green. So as soon as I hit that shot, I looked straight to the desert and did like a 50-yard helicopter straight into the desert. But I was hitting it so bad that I had to do the walk of shame and recover my wedge because I knew I was
going to miss greens.
Yeah.
That course is hard.
Again, it ain't like an 8-iron where you can just kind of finesse.
So as soon
them.
as that happened, the referee came to me. Hey, this is a warning. What you did is not accepted by the NCAA rules. Next time you're at DQ. And I'm like, damn.
Okay. Yeah. Lock it up.
Yeah.
Well, that ruins my next question because I was going to ask you if you had to prove your Spanish heritage, being that you don't break clubs and freak out there. But I'll go to something different than.
Well, related to this, another funny thing about this last week on the stroke play, I finished the stroke play at Hazeltine, and I was 2 over in the day, even total, and I was pretty close to the cut line. And on hole 15, it spun downwind, and I bombed it. I had a 5-iron in on 15.
Oh.
Yep. Okay. And I hit the worst 5-iron possible. And I put it to the 40-yard bunker, the one on the right. Mm-hmm. And the pin was all the way back. It was the hardest shot I could live. And I just got pissed. And you know how you kind of like squat and kind of bend the club. But I did it for like 5 seconds, really hard. But then I forgot about it, and I gave my club to Alberto. Ended up making most beautiful up and down ever from that 50-yard bunker shot. Landed short of the pin, skip, check to like this far. And the following day against Ben James, I was 1 up in hole 4. It was time to hit the 5-iron, and I hadn't hit it since.
Oh,
pulled it out of the back.
Bent.
The worst bent you could imagine.
Oh my god!
Alberto didn't notice that when you handed it back to him. Like, hey, dog,
he didn't even notice, and I didn't even hit it in the warm up. So, and it was not the nice bend. I mean, I know I couldn't hit that club because of the rules, but you guys know how there's like this 8-iron that has the bend to kind of like,
so you lean the shaft.
It was the opposite bend.
Oh, so you would have had to go like
so
that's my
like,
move at Impact.
Yeah, that's like
that's what I do.
So dude, add loft.
I'm like, man, I kind of hit this. I lost that hole because of it, because I don't know, I kind of got I lost focus for a little bit, and then I asked the referee, hey, I don't know when this happened. Can I do something? Maybe put it back to position and play with it. And he didn't really know the rules, so I'm like, let me check with the superior or whoever. And by that time, I look at it and I bent it back. I'm not even using a towel. You know, if you friction the towel, you can move it easier. But I just put it that way. I did it like this. Look at it. I'm like, looks pretty good to me. And I couldn't play it that day, but I used it for the rest of the week.
You're able to use
just like that. You have no new shaft or nothing?
I had the Ping brought me a new club for the following day, but it looks so damn straight that I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep playing, and I hit many good shots with it.
So. Oh wow,
nice.
Yep.
Okay, all right, that answers mine.
On to me. All right. Let's see here. Would you say you're better at driving the golf ball or a car?
Has to be driving the golf ball. Preston said that to you, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't reveal my sources.
I'm about to start my 4th year here at ASU, and I've said since the beginning of my sophomore year that I was gonna get my license at some point, and we're still in that process of starting to get my license.
So a golf ball.
So yeah, probably golf ball. It's something that I gotta do as soon as possible. But hey,
you just take Uber to class?
Yeah, how do you get you go downtown Phoenix for your class?
Uber, sometimes I go to the bus stop in Tempe and then take the bus. Yeah, but many Ubers. There's something funny that I say to my people, especially back in Spain, because I don't have the license in Spain either. I say, hey, no worries, I'm going to go straight from the shotgun to having a personal chauffeur.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're on the way to just have a driver. You don't even ever have to worry about getting...
You should take the Havemeyer onto the bus stop downtown South Phoenix. Probably real safe.
Yeah. Hey, guys, stopping on Van Buren.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, last one for me. I've been told to ask you what music you listen to and what outfit you wore on your recruiting trip to ASU.
Damn. Yeah. My dad got so pissed at me at that. right now I listen to reggaeton, pretty basic music, but for me it's enough. And I'm Spanish and I like the music in Spanish. I'm pretty open to any kind of music, but that's what I listen most of the time. And I know Therms told you this because I played Lil Pump on his car in my recruitment visit.
Apparently, he said, "Hey." He got in the car. And
Yeah,
he's like, put on what you. I want to listen. Thurman's trying to get him to sign it. Like, put on what you want to listen to. I'll listen. And he put this on, and he was like, "Dude,
what's it called? Lil what?
Lil Pump.
This dude named Lil Pump.
Yeah, I mean,
Check him out. I feel like you'll enjoy him. He's a lot like.
And then after
Chris Stapleton.
With time after I get a chance to know Therms the way he is, how religious he is, and everything. I'm like, damn, how did I even do this? And I went to this dinner with my dad and a couple teammates. A couple of guys that were on the team back in the day, and Therms, with this shirt that said like "Insane Death" and like a skull here. I mean, it was.
That's what you are.
Edgy.
That's what I wore. Yeah.
Edgy, as I'm told.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna sign this kid.
Yeah.
Good choice, by the way, Therms.
Hey, but
Therm was like, it was the most vulgar song I've ever heard in my life.
yeah. But I said to my dad, this is who I am. If they don't want me, well,
Yeah, I am.
it's
True. I mean, that's what happened.
I've had some interesting. How to say? Not habits, but some interesting. Damn it! How do we say?
Situations,
No, like-
experiences.
No, some interesting moments of my life. As soon as I finished high school, I don't know why I started doing magic with cards.
God,
I got
what?
pretty good at it. Yeah, for like 3-4 months, I got pretty good at it. Everywhere I went, I used to have like deck of cards in my pocket. There was a moment when I used to paint my nails too. A dark moment in my life. But yeah, like many funny things that you wouldn't imagine of a golfer.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fascinating.
And now one of my hobbies now more serious and that I like and I can enjoy is cooking. I spend some time in the kitchen, kind of forget about what I've done in the day, and I love eating so much that if I don't pay attention to cooking, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm gonna have to eat it and it's gonna be bad. So
All right, so
That's a nice roommate to have, by the way.
two things first. The magic. You think he can compete with Harris
I was about
English?
to say, we got a trick that'll blow your fucking mind.
We had Harris English on, who was just so proud of his magic trick. It's the
Okay.
dumbest thing you've ever seen.
Okay.
And it's the easiest trick ever.
Okay.
And he was so proud of it. It was great. Back to the cooking thing. We're going to look ahead. You win the Masters. Obviously, the Champions dinner. What are you going to have?
I'll bring my grandma for the cooking and I'll make her design the menu.
Okay.
Some Spanish delicacies for sure.
What's your favorite as far as like a Spanish food?
One of my favorite dishes is like this chickpea soup that my grandma makes. Quite different to any other kind of dishes, but it would be something like classic Spanish tapas with a nice dessert and like a main. I'm not sure about the main, but yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, dude, we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for coming in, bringing the beautiful trophy. Congratulations on winning the U.S. Amateur.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for the time, man.
That was awesome. All right, that was a fun one with the US Am champ. Really cool having the Havemeyer here in the building. What a stud this kid is. 195 ball speed, just cruising around. Good-looking Spaniard. I think he's got a decently bright future.
We might need to do like a DNA check to find out if he's actually really Spanish, because he's the most calm Spaniard I've seen on the golf course in a long time. Very mellow, unlike some of the other fellas with Spanish blood. But dude, his game is impressive. We got into it like the 250-yard 5-irons to the moon. He's the modern day kid, and I loved some of the stories. Thurman, shout out Coach Thurman at ASU for giving some good stuff. His recruiting trip, apparently, when he got in the car and Thurman was like, "Oh, it's a recruit. I'll let him listen to what he wants to," and he puts on like the little pump, which you need to dive into that if you have it. And he was like, "Dude, it was the most flagrant, like outrageous thing." I was like, "That's pretty big balls for a recruit to come in and be like, yeah, I'll throw this on."
I think I'm going to stick to my country music.
Yeah, George Strait or Lil Pump.
Lil Pump, I'm out.
Yeah.
By the way, Preston Summeray's Clean Your Damn Room. Clean it up a little bit.
How about that? Would you have ever guessed that?
Kinda. Actually,
I wouldn't
kinda.
have. He's so like buttoned up and
I know.
all the stuff. Like he's always put together nicely,
I wish we would have had the live reaction, because when we were on our Sirius XM show, and I told him, I was like, hey, you're going to be playing with the number one player in the world, the defending champion at the Masters, Scotty Scheffler. Like he was completely shocked. He had no clue it was happening. So to bring it up there, but it was a really cool moment on our show with him.
That was awesome. I was like, he's like,
you didn't know that?
He's like, really? I was like, this is kind of like a known thing, dude.
Yeah.
Anyone that wins it, you get paired with the champ. That's Scotty. And he was freaking out. It was awesome. But he's got a lot of shit going on in the last, now he's got to get ready to go back to school, which that's got to be a bit of a letdown,
sucks.
but I wouldn't worry about it too much. Things are looking pretty good. By the way, very good. We've had college guys on before and they're all great, but like he was very well spoken. Like, he gave great answers and things like that. He's going to be very marketable.
He spent all week at Hazeltine with me. I trained him.
Did you train him up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your little twin brother looping around for him too, by the way.
Oh,
Shout out. You've been hiding that brother from me.
Been getting a lot of steps in.
You've been hiding that brother from him. Hey, speaking of great quotes and being good at speaking, did you hear Wyndham Clark's quote after the old? I gotta get this.
I can't believe
dude.
you haven't talked about this
I forgot
more.
about it totally in the first time.
On the happy hour with Smiley, right?
Yeah, with Smiles, dude. He had a beautiful shot into 16. Came up just a little bit short, and he was asking about it. He's like, "Yeah, man, I just wish I had 8 more inches in me." Straight faced. Oh my god!
Hey,
I've taught
by the
him
way,
so much, but I'm so
trained
far
him.
to go, dude. I've taught him so much, but we have so far to go. Suffice it to say, he's getting a lot of texts about that quote, which will live on for forever, by the way. But
The internet is forever.
8 more inches, dude. You know what I mean? Be helpful.
All right. Well, he's headed to East Lake, as is the best 30 on the PGA Tour from this season. Justin Thomas, your last guy in the field after Brian Harmon made double bogey on
That
the
was
70
tough to
signal. That was
watch,
tough.
by the way.
But now JT put out a great little Instagram from Dumb and Dumber saying, you're telling me there's a chance. Going in 10 shots behind Scotty Scheffler. I love you, JT, but I don't like your chances of giving Scotty 10 shots.
Gonna have to go off your ball. And Xander 9, who's
8.
pretty decent. Sorry, 8, who's pretty decent around East Lake.
All right, well, let's make some picks. This one's, in my opinion, not the most fun to bet. You can bet it a few different ways. You can bet how the strokes sit going in, the staggered start. You can also bet without strokes, just who's going to win the golf tournament gross-wise, which Xander Schauffele normally does around East Lake. But it's a revamped East Lake. Andrew Green went in, totally redid it. They took out the water on the driving range, so no more chipping it in there to start your day. But, look, I think Scotty Scheffler has had the lead going into East Lake the last 2 years, hasn't been able to get the job done. I think now is the time. Third time is a charm. Last week, I don't even pay attention. I think it was a fluke. I think he'll get back, be on sea level, and be ready to go, be dialed in, be the best ball striker on the planet. And he's going to lift the FedEx Cup this year.
You like Scotty. Well, this will be a really cool segment for everyone. I'll go with Xander.
Yeah, cool.
Who's 2 back and the best player at East Lake we've had historically for a long time. So there we go. How about those 2 guys? I mean, honestly, that's why I'm betting this thing. Like, and we'll get into some of the guys we think, if you started at that level or guys that can make the biggest move. There's 30 guys, but at least half are basically just trying to win more money. There's not that many guys that can actually win this thing. If one of the guys at the top plays well, then there's hardly anyone that can win. I would love to see it revamped where there's some sort of final round, you play 54-hole qualifier or something, top 4 guys, boom, 1 round for all the marbles to actually add some drama. Like they're going to do at the Creator Classic, by the way, which is going to go off on Wednesday. You'll get to see the back 9 of East Lake. Where Fat Perez will be in the house. Shout out FP. And go get that thing done. And
we got some honorary starters, which I couldn't believe when I thought it was fake news when I heard it. But Riggs, Trent, and Frankie from Foreplay will be hitting the honorary shots, just like Nicholas Palmer and Player walking onto the first tee at Augusta.
It's very, very similar to that. I hope there's shot tracker on this. We may have to get some wagers on distance and accuracy on that. But Riggs, go out there and hit a seed. And by the way, FP, let's go, baby. Shock the world.
As far as like going down someone who I think could make a big time move, and it's not going down too far. He's the 4th betting favorite at 18-1. But Ludwig Oberg, with all the birdies he made last week, not as much trouble at East Lake unless they added some ponds that I don't know about. But for the most part, not a ton of trouble. Hard to make really big numbers. He just keeps getting better and better in my opinion. Haven't heard much about the knee lately, which they came out and talked about, I know, around Memorial time, but he's that golf swing is as good as it gets. Just limit some of the mistakes, and I feel like he could win every week.
He's already one of the best in the world, and I feel like we're just he's just figuring it out. Like he's just learning to swim. I think what he's going to do is going to be special. There will never be a golf tournament where I don't like Ludwig Oberg going in. I'm going to go with a guy. If we're starting everyone at level. I love his game around this place. similar a little bit to Xander Schauffele, maybe not the same pop off the tee. Colin Morikawa, you got to hit fairways at East Lake with that gnarly Bermuda rough. It gets really tough to hit good shots out of that. He's one of the, like, I think, top 3 in driving accuracy and one of the best iron players. I think Colin Morikawa, if you're looking for a guy that's not in the top 5, let's call it, starting off, to make a push for it, he'd be my pick.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though. I mean, you're giving Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. We talk about Scotty's consistency. Xander has been just an absolute joke since Quail Hollow in May this year. His worst finish is 15th. He has a 15th and a 13th. Everything else is inside the top 10. It's been really special to watch him, and he's probably going to the golf course for the most part over his career. He's had the most success at.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an absolute monster at this thing, and I feel like he's been this good, I feel like, for a few years now, but he was just doing the same thing he's doing now, but without the wins. And to get 2 of them this year, both at major championships, like, boom, now that's how you're judged ultimately. And I feel like now is where he belongs in terms of the hierarchy and the conversations when you have, like, who's the best. And it's been, and I mean, dude, a few months ago, we'd have been like, I mean, Scotty, who's going to touch Scotty Scheffler? Now we actually have a debate for player of the year potentially.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. FedEx finale there at East Lake, the Tour Championship. Someone's going to walk away with $25 million. Can't wait for this thing to get started. Also, special shout out, Bel Air Country Club. Played the member guests there this past week. Had a blast.
How'd we do?
We didn't win, but we had a good time as usual. That's what we do.
Now, can you give another congratulations to Chandler Parsons on his 8th consecutive flight win in the member guest circuit? The guy's
By the way,
champion. He's a champ.
He was also a late ad, I believe, as of the morning of.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and got in and just
probably
took
a
over.
Financial deal. You know about this economy. I don't have to tell you about that.
And also shout out to my SMU Mustangs, who currently have the best record in all of college football. Football season is here, Sleaze.
We didn't even touch them. I hate them already. I hate them all the time. I double hate them. Can you cover 14 against Nevada, the cellar dweller of the Mountain West in the second half?
We're a little rusty
Missed the
starting out.
2-point conversion and my hatred. I was just like, they're already dead to me.
Let it go. You can fire on another game here very shortly.
I will, but I got some making up to do now.
All right. Well, enjoy the FedEx finale and enjoy football because it is officially back. We'll talk to you on next week's Subpar.